welcome back to Sextras,
where we talk about sex and all the extras.
I'm Honey,
And I'm Maria.
and we are coming at you with a little bonus episode today. We're so excited.
Thought we'd treat you, but mostly treat ourselves
Yeah.
in divulging about what our thoughts are on some reality TV, of course.
Yeah, we are obsessed with Love is Blind and the Ultimatum, so we were like, let's just do a little episode. I feel like it's relevant to like the dating scene
Yeah.
as a whole in a way. Also, sorry if you can hear like crows in the background. They're just like, I don't know, they're just talking at
Having
us.
a little chat.
They want to be on the podcast. But yeah, so we're gonna just chat about like our thoughts and just yeah,
like whatever might come up, because like the ultimatum, we can talk about ultimatums, we can talk about so many things that come up from that shit. And then we'll see what else we get into.
Yeah, also, if you haven't watched The Ultimatum or Love is Blind, obviously there are going to be spoilers, so don't listen if you are planning on watching, but you should go watch because they're genuinely, like, I'm not a big, like, reality TV person. Maria is. And I've watched both seasons of Love is Blind. I actually love both of them, and I watched The Ultimatum, and it's just quality entertainment. Like, it's so good. And it's just fascinating to like have an insight into people's lives.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, but should we say what zone we're in today?
Yeah, I don't know, I'm still kind of grey. I'm just like tired, a little bit like on edge, like getting a bit frustrated, but I mean, I'm alright. I'm happy the sun's out. I'm happy it's getting warmer. Yeah, I don't know, I guess they're kind of opposing, like, the grey and the yellow, but I guess I'm a like little ugly ass yellow.
A nice grey yellow.
Yeah. What about you?
I might be grey as well. I'm just like, yeah, a bit tired. I've been feeling not really like myself, but I think that's just because I've been like drinking a lot and like socializing a lot and like I love socializing, but for some reason I just feel like really just all socialized out at the moment.
Yeah, like a bit drained.
Yeah, I'm a bit drained. So yeah, that's that. I was just like randomly signing up to courses online the other day because I was like, kind of want to do something with my life. So that's the kind of energy I'm at right now. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. Not coming at you with the most amazing vibes, but we'll try to bring it for you.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit uninspired, but maybe this episode will inspire me in so many ways.
Okay, well, should we get into it?
Yeah, should we start with Love is Blind?
Okay, yeah.
Seeing as that came first. So they're produced by the same people and it's the same presenters, Nick and Vanessa Lachey. Who, just a bit of background, Nick used to date Jessica Simpson and then they separated and then he started dating Vanessa, who's the other host of these shows, and so they kind of bring a lot of like their marriage into it, like it's quite cute couple vibes. I think they're actually quite good presenters. Like, yeah,
I agree. I don't know, I
they're a bit cringe.
I like them. Yeah, but all presenters are. Yeah, but I don't know, they're all right.
But I
like the like personal touch that they bring into it personally. Yeah,
and they kind of like, they're good mediators of the situation. Like they're not just trying to like calm everyone down, but they're also asking the questions that need to be asked, which as viewers we obviously appreciate. So yeah, Love is Blind. I mean, I don't think we're going to explain the premise of the shows to you. Should we explain the premise?
Yeah, well, the premise is basically people go into pods, and these pods are basically little rooms which they're just sitting in by themselves, but they can talk to, like it's a straight show, so it's like the girls can talk to the guys, and they go in and have these, like, whole-ass dates, but they're not seeing each other, they're just talking, like, whatever, and I don't know how long they're in there for like 4 weeks, but you can get engaged before. Basically the point is that you're gonna get engaged and
sight unseen.
Yeah, like before seeing each other, but after you've had all these conversations and all these dates. So then it seems like when you feel ready, you propose, and then you like get the hell out of the pods and you go to like this kind of honeymoon experience vibe kind of
Mexico.
thing. Yeah, of course. And then you spend a few weeks there together, and then after that you get married. That's what happens on the show essentially. So yeah, that's the premise. Anything else?
Yeah, that's it. But
Okay.
I mean, should we start with
What
like? Do you think Love is Blind?
Yeah.
Because I feel like sorry.
No, go.
I feel like the answer from the show is like a bit ambiguous. Obviously, not everyone ends up in a marriage.
Yeah.
But
everyone says
some people do.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's kind of unclear. I don't know. But what do you personally think?
I mean, I do think, like, I personally, for me, I do think that I could like fall in love with someone talking to them for like weeks.
Yeah.
Or like at least, because I also think that like being physically attracted to someone is like important.
Yeah.
And I do think that's a big factor. But I do think that like if I really loved someone, like just who they are or whatever, without seeing them, like I would just find them attractive.
Yeah.
But don't know, maybe I wouldn't, and then I also do think that like being with someone is different than like talking to each other through these like things where you can't see each other.
Yeah.
Because it's like being with someone, and I'm not like gonna be like, oh, the energy or the vibe. It's not that. It's more like just like the body language and like how you interact and like is there chemistry there or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do think that's a big thing, but I do think it could happen for me. Like, I do think I could fall in love with someone without seeing them. I don't know. What do you think? Could you?
I think I could, but it's one of those things where I don't think I'd ever get to a place where I'd go on the show with an intention to end up married, Like,
oh, yeah, no. Because, I think that's whack.
Yeah, because a lot of the people on there are clearly not ready to be married. And I'm like, what possessed you to go on this show where you are signing up to have someone you're gonna marry by the end of this,
Yeah. I'd go on it being like, seeing if I could meet someone, but I would never go on it being like, oh, I'm gonna get married at the end of this. That's insane. You've only known each other in the setting of this show.
Yeah.
Like, even when they go back to their, like, to real life for a little bit, it's like, that's still not fully real life. You're still doing this show and like you're still in the bubble of this show.
Yeah, exactly.
So to me it's just like, that's insane but that's more of a like time thing for me. Like I don't think that I could get married to someone that quickly.
Yeah, I think
like without fully knowing them inside out and like knowing everything basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the premise of the show gets lost a little bit in that like marriage stage because like the question is love blind? And I think it gets a little bit blurry when you're like having to make these big life decisions on top of this like whole Love is Blind premise, because you might love them in the pods and you might love them when you're out of the pods, but then having to like be fucking married and like introduce your families, that's a whole thing. And I think it's clever that the show has that like woven into it, like that they meet each other's families and friends and stuff, but it's still like such a condensed period of time. Like I just don't think that's a normal thing for anyone to have to experience, And it kind of does seem like a consistent issue across Love is Blind and The Ultimatum, because
well, The Ultimatum is different because that's like the whole thing. Like, they went on it being like, we're either getting married or we're not.
Yeah, but like, there were people that said like, oh, it was just a bit rushed, like even though by the end of the show we had decided. But we'll get into it. We'll get into that separately. But yeah, so Love is Blind, honestly, it's just like, it's kind of crazy to me that firstly, I was thinking like, why can't it would be really fun if there was a queer one, but I was like, I don't really know how that would work because they'd obviously be living together. And it's kind of crazy to me that like all the girls are living together and they're like navigating the dynamic of being friends with the other girls and then like dating the same people as them. Like I just find that so awkward.
Yeah, lol. That would be funny if they showed more of that stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
and those kind of like behind the scenes sort of like that tension.
They should release a behind the scenes, because I bet there's so much that we don't see, and I want to know it all.
Yeah.
But
like the what I think is like so awkward, like when, for instance, like in the later season, I don't even remember their names now, but that like Latina girl that was with the
oh yeah, Sal and Valerie.
Sal and Valerie, and what was the other guy that she was with that ended up marrying that other one?
Yeah, Ayana and
Jared or something.
Jared. Yeah,
Was it
Jarrett? Yeah,
It's
Jarrett.
something like Jared Bear.
Yeah. Jarrett.
Like that shit that made it, like when they all meet and have to like all like kind of confront each other, and like you know that he wanted to actually marry this girl and she said no, and then you're marrying him now, which like cool, whatever, you like, I get that, like whatever, that didn't happen, but mate, nope.
And if I was in Ayana's position, I would be so mad. Yeah, I felt really bad for Sal.
Yeah, mate,
honest.
that was so peak. I'm sorry, that conversation, like what they were both saying, what it was about, like that wasn't even the worst part. Like she was being so like,
when he's like, oh, but you don't like that ring, and she's like,
oh,
watching that back. Imagine they had ended up together. And then you watch that back and you're like, fucking hell. But that's what I mean.
Their relationship was so weird.
Yeah, it was so weird. It always seemed so like stiff and just like they didn't feel very comfortable. And because like on the surface it did seem very mature and like they were having all these important conversations.
It seemed so emotional. Yeah. Like everything was so like, oh my God, like, I don't know.
But it kind of seemed like emotionless as well. Like
yeah. I so get what you're saying.
Weird.
Oh, I don't know. It seems such bad vibes, like genuinely.
But like with Ayana, I felt so like that must be awkward for her. But it does seem like her and Jarrett were a good fit in the end, because. And another thing about this whole situation is that like Valerie and Jarrett, they both said that those are the kinds of people that each other are the kind of people that they would normally go for. So I guess they would kind of just like sort that out, and that seemed like more exciting initially. But I think going through the process made Jarrett and Ayana have like this stronger connection in a way, because like because they've had to work through these issues, and like they had this whole thing of like, oh, so you were interested in someone else, you know, and then and Ayana is so young. She's like 24.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so that is like super intense to go into that in the first place, and then to like have to talk this guy down from like marrying someone who's like kind of like, they are kind of like well suited in like the position their lives are in, because I think he's quite a bit older than her. And then having to like convince him to not go out every night and stuff, which I don't know, what do you think about that? I don't know how I feel about that vibe.
Well, about like their whole argument about like you can't be going out that much and all of that. Well, I don't know, I kind of like do see it in that like, okay, we're in a different stage, like we're married now, and I do see that as like, I don't know, it doesn't have to be like, obviously you can have whatever marriage you want to fucking have, but I just feel like you kind of have to I don't know, that's kind of hard, because like I get both perspectives, and I don't know, I do think that like you shouldn't really be telling someone like what they can or can't do, but at the same time like you're in a partnership now, and like you have to be able to compromise, and if this is like something that's like important to this person, I don't know, like, but, and I also think it depends where it's coming from. Like if it's just like, if it's from trust, then I don't know, I think that's more of a like Ayana problem.
Yeah, that's true.
But if it's from like, oh, I want to like be able to spend more time with you, or like I want to like have nights where we like go to bed together and that kind of stuff, like I get that. I feel like everyone deserves to, you know, get what they want, and like if they can come to some kind of compromise, I feel like that's the fairest thing. I don't think it should be like a, oh well, like you're not going out like at all anymore, and like it shouldn't be like, oh well, I'm going out every night anyway. And I don't know, I do think about the whole like stages in life thing. She might see it as like quite a different chapter, you know, and it's like this is like what's happening, and he might not have that same image. But I do think, again, that's like about coming to a compromise and like seeing what's gonna work, or like, yeah, maybe this just might not be like the right thing,
Yeah.
because we clearly don't have the same idea of what we want.
Yeah, no, I agree. What about Shayna? What about the whole Natalie, Shane, Shayna triangle?
Natalie, Shane, and Shayna.
I was so sad that Natalie and Shane didn't get married in the end. I thought at the start, I was like, fuck this guy. He's a child about Shane. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, why are they both so into him? He just seems like such a fucking loser.
Mate, he seems like such a freak, honestly.
Yeah, but then I'd like something just changed when they were in Mexico, and they kind of just like seemed to have a really good connection. And
Yeah, I really liked them together. I thought that they were really good together as well.
yeah, and I thought it was so sad that they didn't end up together like that.
Yeah.
That one argument, because they had a argument the night before their wedding, you know, like on the show, and he said that, like, what did he say about her? He said that, like,
I don't. Yeah,
you're always being mean. Like, he was super sensitive about the fact that she teased him and stuff, which, like, whatever, I get it can be a bit much sometimes, but like if you're with someone who you know that's their personality, I feel like you kind of just have to like take it on the chin in a way. But yeah, so he got drunk and he like lashed out at her and stuff, and then she basically couldn't come back from that, and she said she couldn't marry him, which I was so sad for them.
But I kind of also see it because like he seemed like, you know, in reality TV there's like always like the guy in the house that like loses it like after a few drinks, and like he gets mad about something and just fucking loses it, and it's like punching walls and shit, and like he so seemed like that kind of guy, and I so see him like getting like overly blowing up overly over something, and that's kind of what I think low-key happened. And then she saw that and it's like, I can't come back from this, because it's like, what's to say that like anytime that you get angry you're not going to go to that place, you know? And I do completely see that.
Yeah, he did seem like he was not super in control of his emotions. Yeah, he clearly has some stuff to work through, and it ultimately kind of like cost him the relationship, which I do think that he feels sorry about it, but I just don't think he knows how to like express it in the right way. And I think, I don't know, Natalie just seems like so smart and like together that it doesn't make sense logically that they would work well together, but for some reason it does. I don't know. That was the biggest plot twist, I think, of the whole thing. I was like, whoa, this actually worked.
Yeah, I don't know. And then like a whole other thing with the show is like fucking Shane, he was like thinking about whether he was gonna marry like Natalie or Shayna, and then when Shayna like kind of started like losing interest or whatever, or like I didn't really even know what happened, like kind of there was a moment where it turned and like suddenly it was all about Natalie. But then when Shayna comes back and she's like saying like, oh, like this and this and this, and he's like, oh, if I knew that 3 days ago, like everything would have changed. And it's like, that is just insanity to me, that you could have a 3-day gap in between thinking you're gonna marry one girl and like another girl, and you're still gonna fucking marry her. Like no, like that's not cool. Like I would not marry someone that it was only sure for fucking 3 days.
Yeah, but
like,
you I don't think you can say unless you're in the show.
No,
like there's such
I completely
high
understand
stakes.
that. I completely understand that, but that's what I'm saying. It's like that show is crazy.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's
that's insane that you would
crazy.
actually put yourself in that situation and like accept that that's what's gonna happen. Like no.
Yeah. Can we talk about Shake and Deeps? Yeah,
Deeps.
Because I, in the same way as like them not showing us certain things behind the scenes, like I feel like from the reunion, I got the impression that Shakes was like saying all the stuff to other girls in the pods that we weren't shown. Like we were obviously shown a bit of it, how he was like, oh, but can I put you on my shoulders kind of thing. And like Deeps was kind of the one that said like, do you see how that's not cool to say that? But then I don't understand how it went from that to them being engaged. Like
oh yeah, no, because then they didn't like go back to them for a few episodes, and then they went back to them, and then they kind of like showed how they had been like talking more and more. But yeah, they didn't show that much of their like conversations. I agree.
I guess because they obviously knew what was going to happen in the end. But like,
Yeah, no, because then they had that whole arc of like how they're actually so similar and like they've had the same upbringing and like they made each other like see all this stuff. No, I remember that.
Yeah, and Shake seeming to have this huge like personality makeover where he's like, I realize I've just been like objectifying women.
Yeah.
And I don't understand, like, was that fake? Genuinely,
No,
was that fake?
I genuinely think it was. And then like when he meets her and he's all like, oh yeah, like
he like grabs
so
her
fit,
ass,
and like
and it was
so weird.
Very,
it was like so sexual, and then literally like next episode he's like, yeah, I just don't really find her sexually attractive.
yeah, she's
and it's
like my aunt.
What?
Imagine saying that to people as well. Like, that's so
it was so
mean.
fucked. Like when I was watching that, I was like, is no one gonna like say something? Is he gonna like have a conversation with her? Like, but like surely they had a conversation about it, maybe.
They
like, and we
must
just
have
didn't
done.
see it.
Or she must have gotten the vibe, you know.
Yeah, but
or one of the
so
other
sad.
girls must have said something to her, you know. But yeah, it was fucked up, and I was so scared that she was gonna say yes.
Yeah, mate, I fully thought she was gonna say yes,
and I was so happy when she was like, "No, I deserve to be with someone who like loves me fully."
Yes.
And yeah, I really enjoyed that aspect of like the show and the friendship of all the girls at the end, like in the reunion, how they were like, yeah, Deeps is such a beautiful person inside and out, and like you did this. And that's when I give credit to Vanessa and Nick Lachey, because I like how she is clearly getting emotionally involved in the drama, but she's able to like ask these important questions, you know, that everyone wants to have answered. Like she kind of was challenging Shake, which I feel like he needs, and he just is clearly a horrible person.
Yeah, mate, that was so like gross to watch. I really didn't enjoy that.
Yeah, same with Shayna.
Oh mate, that whole Shayna Kyle situation, like what was that?
That was so bizarre. I felt really bad for him because he seems like a
did
sweet
not feel
guy.
bad for him. I was like, you're dumb. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
like,
true. It was a bit stupid.
If he thought that, like, oh yeah, this is so something I can get over. Like, no, it's not. Like, she wants to like raise her kids like Christian.
Yeah.
You don't believe in it. Like, do you not see how that's like a huge disconnect? And like she was like, this is very important to me. Like my faith is very important.
Like
to
her
me.
relationship with God is the most important relationship in her life. And he just
did not get that. And like, I'm not like siding with her, but honestly, I just thought that he was completely dumb in that entire situation. And like, I do feel like she was kind of like trying to. Like, yeah, she shouldn't have said yes. I genuinely did not think she was going to say yes.
Yeah.
Like, I did not think of for a second. She shouldn't have done that. But at the same time, like, I feel like after she was like, no, but like, we really need to talk about this. And like, she was really giving off the vibe of like, no, this is an issue. And like, we can't just be like, oh, this is fine. Let's just get married.
Yeah. It's such a wild show, honestly. But yeah, I think it's weird. Because they always say, you know, like, unless you're on the show, you can't understand the connections. And I genuinely think, like, I can't imagine myself in that position, having all these deep conversations with people, and then you meet them in real life and have to, like, maintain that level of connection.
Yeah, that would be so strange.
Like my little avoidant self, I feel like the pods, I would thrive there. Like, I would be so happy. I'd be like saying I'm gonna marry every guy, and then I'd get out and be like, haha, jokes. I actually don't want to get married.
It would be quite fun, to be fair, I think, because like you don't have to be like, I feel like you would just not be self-conscious. You would be like able to just say whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and then when you meet them, I'd feel so awkward. Like I wouldn't know how to act.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, do I go in and kiss them? Because like I'm marrying this fucking person, apparently.
Yeah, I hate when they meet for the first time and they have to kiss in the middle of the hallway. I just think it's so awkward.
That whole run up would be so
uncomfortable. And having to wait like behind the doors, I would be shitting myself.
How they get engaged through like the wall of the pod. I hate that.
I hate that so much.
I hate that shit. And they're both crying, and it's like, you've only known each other like 3 weeks. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Honestly.
So yeah, highly recommend Love is Blind. Should we talk about the ultimatum?
Yeah, let's talk about the ultimatum. So, the premise of this show is couples that are like already together, you know, they come and they're like at this, someone in the couple wants to get married and is like has issued this ultimatum of we're either getting married at the end of this or like we're not together anymore,
Yeah.
like we're breaking up. And they go into a house with like the other couples that are going through this as well, and they sort of like at first they're all in the same house, like all the couples together with like their now ex but their actual boyfriend or like
The
girlfriend
person
or
that they
whatever.
went there with.
Yeah. And then kind of dating and getting to know all the other people in the other couples.
Yeah, they have their like last night together with their original person.
Yeah.
Which is like so stupid.
And then after like the end of a week there of like everyone being together, they sort of like choose one person that they made a connection with that is in like one of the other couples, so not their original person.
Yeah.
Someone else from another couple. That's the part that I find the most fucked up about it. Basically, like, because there's this other show, Temptation Island, which like couples, it's kind of this same idea in a way, but like couples that are like, oh, I don't know what we should do. Should we stay together or like break up? Go to this island and they split them into two houses, like the boys' house and the girls' house. And the girls stay like just with the girls, and new boys come in and they date them, and the guys date the new girls.
Yeah.
But like they don't have any point where they're all like watching each other, and they don't have like this fucking incest in between the couples. Like
Yeah.
I think that's fucked up.
It's
that
just
part
like,
about it.
I think you must have to have something wrong with you to go on a show like this, you know? Like, what possesses you to be like so confident in your relationship?
Yeah.
Because it's not just like the premise of the show, it's like the emotional reality of
Like,
watching.
yeah,
You never
watching.
know how you're gonna react to that. Like, especially if you've never like been in an open relationship or anything like that before. Watching your partner talk to like loads of other people, that would just be so stressful. And then like I didn't like Shanique for most of the time, but I think she had the most human reaction to that phase of the experiment or whatever, by like because she clearly had lots of doubts at that stage when she saw Randall talking to other people. She was like, oh wow, like this is real, and like I think I made a mistake coming here, kind of thing. Like it kind of seemed like she was regretting it at that point. But yeah, to be that confident in your relationship, to not only put yourself through that, but put the other person through it, and then expect to come out the other side together, which I guess is the whole premise of an ultimatum.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like you have to be like they thought that it's like either I'm marrying this person or like it's not gonna work, kind of thing, you know. But wait, and then they choose someone, and then they live with that someone for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then they go back to their original couple and live with them for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they choose like whether they're gonna get married or not, essentially. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I would like love to do it just to see like how I would actually react and like how it actually would make me feel, because I just feel like it would be so fucking weird and interesting. And like I do get it from a point of like, I don't know, I think it's crazy that like for instance Jake was fully like into Ray, and like essentially like I get like deciding not to marry someone, but like I just think it's wild to like have the same level of like or stronger connection with someone that you've been with for like 2 years than with someone that you've known for 4 weeks. Like I just feel like, as I said before, you've been living in this like reality TV show bubble, like you're not in the real world. And I don't know, like I get choosing to not marry someone, as I said, like because I don't, like so much stuff has happened or whatever that it's like, well no, we can't get married. But I don't know, I really like did not see someone like being into like more into the other person.
I thought way more than Love is Blind with this show, you like couldn't tell what was gonna happen, because I actually rewatched the first episode yesterday, and like when they have their last night with their original partner, you literally can't tell, because you obviously see like the state of their relationship, and a lot of them are having these conversations like, oh, I love you, like no matter what, you know, like I really hope we come out of this together, even if they weren't the one who gave the ultimatum, like even if they were the one that didn't want to get married, they were like, yeah, I still want to be with you. Which, again, why would you do that? If someone is saying they want to be with you, why not just wait and get married? Like, why are they so desperate to get married?
That's what I was thinking,
right
like
now?
the whole time. It's like, this person isn't telling you no, that they don't want to marry. Like, they do. They just can't get married right now. And it's like, why would you marry someone in the, like, at a point where you know that they don't want to get married? Like, that's crazy to me. Genuinely insane. And literally, when I started it, I thought that like all of them just needed to break up. Like, I was like, this is just not it. I can't even believe that like half of you, like that you guys are even considering marriage. Like, this is clearly not gonna work. You don't even fucking like each other. Like, what's happening right now?
I bet it must have been so interesting for them to watch it back and be like, whoa, like we should have just broken up, you know? Like, why did I go through that? But I also think it must have been such a like helpful experience to go through, just because a lot of them are so young as well, to like have that.
I thought that was fucking wild as well. I was like, what the fuck, you're so young, why are you issuing an ultimatum about this right now? Like, what is happening? But
like in the most extreme way, they learn that there are other people out there for them, you know, like they really didn't have to go through that whole thing to do it, but they still learn, and maybe that's what they needed. But I think it's such a like intriguing insight into monogamy and like straight relationships because I was watching it with my stepsister and we were just like, straight people are actually insane, like to put this much weight on marriage from such a young age, and like as you were saying, when most of them aren't ready and they're like, yeah, it's this or nothing. And it's like, what conditioning have you gone through in life to think that marriage is like the epitome of love and like happiness? Because I cannot understand. I can't fathom being so obsessed with marriage, and like it didn't even seem like a lot of them were religious, so I don't know, it didn't.
I did not get that vibe.
Is it an American thing?
No, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, like, I do feel like we just don't really think that's that much of a thing anymore, because like, again, the media that we consume and like the people we surround ourselves with is like, nah. But like, I know that there's so many people out there that like that's the reality, you know.
I guess, I don't know.
No, I do think I like for sure
but
I think that's insane. Like, they're way too young.
But okay, so then we have this whole thing of like, there's a few tensions. The first one with like a few of the couples is that they do want to be with the person, but they're just not ready at the moment for like financial reasons or job reasons, or like they think they're too young reasons. And then there's another reason with Nate and Lauren, where Lauren thinks that she doesn't want to have kids. And Nate does want to have kids, and he gives her the ultimatum, which I don't understand that situation at all.
That situation, I was like,
Like, okay,
like, so I was just kind of like, I don't think you're in the right show. Like, I don't really see how this is gonna.
But they ended up together.
Yeah, mate. No. Okay, so basically, like, huge spoiler alert. This was like honestly the highlight of the entire show. Like, they're at this little dinner when they're each choosing, after the first week is up, and they're each choosing who they're gonna go with. Nate kind of like keeps getting like someone else keeps choosing the girl he was gonna choose, and he's kind of like running out of options here. Like, he's like, oh shit, like someone's gonna choose my girl and no one's gonna choose me, and like, so, what the fuck is gonna happen?
He tells Madeline, I'm gonna choose you.
Yeah, so he straight up, and this was like after one of the other couples had gotten engaged, but like, honestly, who cares about them? And like, their issues seem to be fixed, whatever, like, who cares? And then he fucking gets up and proposes to, like, you don't even understand. I lost it. When that happened. I was like, no way is this actually happening. Like, no way is this real. No way is she gonna say yes. I paused it. I was like, is she gonna say yes in this moment? Like, there is no way she's gonna say yes. Like, surely not. Come on, girl.
From like self-respect.
Girl, like, what were they thinking? It's just like, this is not fixed now. This is not fixed whatsoever. This has not changed shit about kids. Like, and he's all like, oh, I've realized, like, you're all I need. Like, you're all the family I need and whatever. It's like, do you really not think that this is going to become a conversation in, a year's time? Like,
Yeah. And he's like, oh, like in the reunion, he's like, oh, even if I can't have kids, then that's fine. But he still seems like he's trying to convince
yeah,
her.
and she's like, yeah, well, right now we're at 1. And it's like, girl, just be with someone that doesn't want to fucking have kids.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want this.
Yeah, and the
At
way...
the end of the day, whatever. Maybe she does want this. Who knows, you know?
Maybe she's just a masochist. Like, who knows? But... yeah, even with Colby when they were talking in like the initial stages, and he was like, oh no, but like you do, like surely you do, you know?
How they were all like, I didn't really like that narrative of like everyone just trying to convince Lauren that like that's what she needed to do, rather than convince Nate that like it's not okay to pressure someone to have kids.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
I don't know, I didn't really like that.
Because the show also said that she was 26 or whatever, and she's actually 30. Like, she came out and said that they, made up her age. And I think that they probably did that to, like, justify the fact that these people were, like, trying to convince her to have kids, because that it was kind of like the narrative, oh, but you're young, like, you'll change your mind. But as a 30-year-old woman, I'm sorry, you are not changing your mind. Like, your time is nearly up, mate. Like, you're not about to just change your mind and try to have kids.
And, like, no, the thing is, maybe you will change your mind, but I just feel like it was just so, I don't know, that whole, like, I appreciated them having the, like, I thought it was, like, a good thing to have on, like, a show that everyone's gonna watch or whatever, bring the debate forward, but, like, the way that it was, the narrative that was kind of taken from it, I just didn't, I don't know, I just thought it was kind of weird.
Yeah, and it was just so bizarre that they ended up together, and, like, even in the reunion, they were still together. It just, it doesn't seem like they really like each other. They both just seem very, like, uninterested in each other. Like, there's no chemistry there. I'm like, do you have sex? Like, I don't really know. I don't see it happening.
Oh, mate.
And I loved how heated April got in that scene. I think, okay, April and Madeline, people didn't seem to really like them.
I liked April.
Oh, really?
I thought she was kind of psycho, but I liked her.
Yeah, she is. But I just had so much respect for her in that moment.
Yeah. I thought, like, I agree. Like, I'm sorry, how is everyone just gonna sit there and not say anything?
Yeah.
Oh, and I kind of rated also how, like, Nick and Vanessa were also not just, like, acting like, oh, like, this is great. Like, they were also like, what is happening? Like, I kind of rated that they weren't just, like, you know, bullshitting and, like, supporting whatever was happening.
Yeah, true. But oh my god, it was just wild, that whole part. And then Madeline and Randall. Madeline, again, in the first episode, straight
I hated Madeline.
away. I didn't hate her.
I hated her. I thought she was such a little bitch. Like, she did not want to marry Colby. Like, she didn't. And, like, I just don't really get why she even agreed to go on the show. The whole time she was, like, obsessed with Randall and, like, obsessed with how great their relationship was. The only thing that she didn't like about it was that he wouldn't fuck her even. And it's like, surely, like...
Yeah.
Oh, God. And then when fucking Colby, like, fully is like, let's get married right here, right now, at the end, I was like, no way is she gonna do it. Like, that was fucked.
I know.
That fucking
like, you're trapped for life. And then the fact that they come into the reunion, like, all happy and, like, she's pregnant. Like, it looks like they're in a cult.
To be fair,
or
I'm pretty sure she just got pregnant on the show and that's why they got married so quick. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'm just completely bullshitting. But,
I don't know.
I don't know, but that was so weird. Like, how he was like, yeah, let's do it right now.
Yeah. He's like, I have someone here.
I was like, what the fuck?
You're gonna
Why
get
is she just agreeing to this? Even though literally, like, 2 days before, she was like, I'm still not sure whether I'm gonna do it.
And none of her family... What? None of her family were at the wedding.
That
and
was
her
crazy.
friends. Imagine. Because, like, I was like... if you got married and I wasn't there, I would actually fucking
that was fucked.
Kill you.
Yeah.
Like, I would not be happy. Yeah.
Oh,
but
God.
Anyway, what I was going to say about Madeline is that she's a bit problematic in a way. Like, I don't think she did want to marry Colby, but whatever, I kind of think that she was dragged into it, and
Mm.
like she had just like from this outsider's perspective decided how it was all gonna play out. Like there were gonna be emotions like running high, and like she wasn't gonna give a fuck about anyone else's thing because they decided to be there, you know, and she didn't, in a way. Like with the whole Shanique and Randall thing, she was like, yeah, but like I want to fuck him, and like you can't be mad about that because you brought him here, kind of thing, which I do respect that because it is true. So I feel like she was just kind of disregarding everyone else's feelings because she had been forced to be there, and like she wasn't that invested in her relationship. It kind of seemed like she just was like, I don't know, we could end up together or we could not, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
And then she did a full 180 and got engaged and married on the same day, and then got pregnant and seemed to be like converted.
Yeah,
I want to
just
know what
so
he's
happy.
doing to her. Like, he must be fucking her
The
so
voodoo.
good.
Oh my god. I also didn't see Randall and Shanique getting married.
Yeah, but they didn't. They like got engaged.
Oh yeah,
and
they
then,
got engaged and then they called it off. Yeah, true. But I didn't see them getting engaged at the end. I thought that they would like go their separate ways.
It really seemed like they both just like decided in that moment.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't tell until right then if they were gonna do it, you know.
I can't believe that Ray and Zay just like broke up before everything, you know. I mean, you could tell from the start, like the way that Ray spoke about their relationship at this, I was just like, what is going on? Why is she even issuing an ultimatum? I was so confused. She does not seem like she wants to be with him.
Yeah, and again, like in the first episode when I watched it, she just seemed so not happy. Like I bet she must have watched that back and been like, oh wow, like I was so just like not myself, you know. And honestly, good for her that now she's dating a girl. We love that.
Good for her, to be honest. I loved Zay. I was like,
did you?
Yeah. I like, if I was thinking like, okay, if I was in the house, like who would I go for and whatever, I'd go for Zay.
Why?
I thought and Jake. I thought Jake was fit.
Yeah, well. Jake's fit. Why do you love Zay?
I don't know. I just thought he was fit, and like I just thought he was like suave, and like no, I thought he was like trying a lot of the time, like genuinely, like I thought he was like really trying to like be honest about his emotions and like chill out. Like I do think that there were a couple of situations that I was like, okay, god, this is bad vibes, but like I do feel like generally he was trying, and like Ray was just not really receiving that at all. So I do like see how he got so frustrated, because it's like you're really trying with like someone that you genuinely like, you're like, oh shit, like I'm gonna lose them. And, like,
and he did want to marry her.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, it must have been so hard, but obviously like good for Ray, and like I don't think that it was the right relationship for her, obviously, but I did feel really bad for Zay like so much of the time.
Yeah, I felt like he got a lot of like hate because he wasn't the best. Like, he was definitely trying, but he obviously has like some trauma that has happened to him in his life that's made him like not the best communicator, or he kind of like victimizes himself in a way. But like,
no, I see that for sure.
That's something he has to work on by himself, and I don't think Ray was the person for him to work on that with, because it kind of seemed like she was just like bringing out that side of him, and like obviously not on purpose, and she clearly was like having trouble with her sexuality and stuff. So it just wasn't the right time, and like she had just finished college, which is crazy. And April was a year older than us.
Yeah, I know.
Which is just like, girl, what are you doing?
Yeah, but like she knows what she wants, you know.
I guess, yeah. But yeah, so this is my thought on the show, is like, I think that they're basically just swingers, like all of them, and they're in denial about it. Because from the beginning I was like, this is some like cucking kind of shit, you know? Like they just want to see their mans be with another woman. And then but then a lot of them didn't even fuck, so I was so confused. Like this whole like, they're obsessed with monogamy, they're obsessed with marriage, and then they're also obsessed with like this weird power play kind of
Yeah.
situation. I don't know. Would you fuck someone if you went on the show?
No, I think like, to me, I feel like the people that like do actually like do stuff with other people, like I'm never really get on board,
Okay.
because I don't know, to me it's like, how are you throwing this like 3 year long thing, 2 year long thing, however long they've been together, for like someone that you just met? And like,
Yeah.
I don't know, to me, like, for instance, like Jake and Ray, I just thought like they worked so well together, and like they were getting on so well together, because it's like, yeah, we just met. Like,
Yeah,
this is the
exactly,
first 3 weeks
exactly.
of dating. Like, that's why it's so fucking fun, and like everything's lit, and there's no arguments, and
Yeah.
like we're not getting on each other's nerves. And like, yeah, that's why, like, then on a fucking pure contrast, in 3 weeks with someone that you have been with for like 2.5 years, and you've like, there's a lot of emotion and like a lot of time and a
Yeah.
lot of shit invested into this. And like, you go from like, yeah, having the most fun with this new person, to like, okay, this is real, and like we're clearly going through something right now. Like, I don't know, I just, to me, it's just like, that's just not a fair comparison at all, because
Yeah.
it's like, it's just different. You're dealing with completely different things.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, it's fun. Yeah, obviously, like, I would, if I went into that fucking thing, like, I think that, you should just talk about it before. What are the boundaries? Like, what are we allowed to do and whatever? And like, that's
Yeah.
what I would do. And within my boundaries, it's like, I don't even think I'd allow the sharing the bed thing.
Really. Yeah.
No, maybe I would. Like, sharing the bed, fine, whatever. It's not that deep. Like, I wouldn't make you sleep on the sofa. But like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like it's just, it's, to me, it's dumb. To me, it's like, I get that you can like meet someone and like really get on with them and like be having the most fun. But yeah, it's because you just met. Like, obviously, it's not gonna be like that when
Yeah.
like, with someone that you've been with for years, and like, yeah, you know every little fucking annoying thing about them, and like, you have to be with, like, you've been in each other's space for ages, and like, I don't know, to me it's just so not comparable. But then also, the kind of person that I am, it's like, I know that I wouldn't get swept up by this like new thing, because like, I'm a lot more of a like, I need my comfort, and like
Yeah.
someone that I like, I'm at a level with, like, I'm not a like social butterfly kind of vibe, so it's not like I'm gonna like get onto that level with someone like that. But maybe I would, because I actually have done that before. So you don't know, like, it is like an intense situation, I completely understand that, but oh, it's fucking wild. I don't know.
But do you think the situation can make, like, I mean, from the like end results of the show, I would say no, but do you think the show can make you like appreciate your partner more? Like your
Yeah,
original partner?
I mean, I kind of rate the experiment in that, like, yeah, see what else is out there, like, see if like, you, this thing that you have with this person really is something that you're like, you would be scared to lose, and like,
Yeah.
see them actually seeing what else is out there, and like, kind of a little bit of a reality check, because I do see how like, in long-term relationships it can kind of just be like, oh, we're together just because like that's a fact, not even because it's like, like, you don't
Yeah.
even necessarily like want to be with this person, or like you're not even getting on, or like maybe you're not even that happy, but it's like, well, yeah, we've been together for so long that it's like,
Yeah.
what else am I gonna do? But it's a little bit of a like, and yeah, you think you're never gonna lose them, and like, you think that's just always gonna be. So I do like kind of rate it as a like a little bit of a, you could lose me at any moment.
Yeah.
But I think the show is crazy. Like, anyone that goes on it is insane.
Yeah. They must just be fully insane.
And even just, I think, like, putting an ultimatum without the show, like, giving someone an ultimatum to marry you. Personally, I would never do that.
I would never do that.
And I don't really understand doing that. What are your thoughts on like ultimatums generally?
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say what would be an acceptable ultimatum to give. I feel like I've given an ultimatum before,
I've low-key given ultimatums, I think. Like, not real ones, because I think to give an ultimatum you have to be actually prepared to walk away.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever actually been prepared to walk away. So I think that's the thing.
What's an example?
Well, no, I remember, like, okay, the thing that's coming to my head, but I know that there is a better example, but the thing that's coming to my head is, like, the biggest argument my boyfriend and I have ever had, even though it wasn't really an argument about anything, it was just, like, a big period of, like, stuff that led up to me being like, oh, shit, like, should I stay in this or should I not, basically? But it didn't really get to that point, because, like, I basically wanted to have a conversation with him, but I wanted him to like understand that this conversation was like I'm not going to be having this conversation again. Like this was a conversation that we'd had so many times, an argument that we'd had so many times that I was like, I'm not going to have this a single more time. Like otherwise it's kind of over. So I guess that's a little bit of an ultimatum, but I didn't really phrase it like that because I wasn't actually ready to walk away. Like if he had turned around and said no, or if he had like not done it, I'd have to sort of like cross that bridge when I got there. But like at that moment in time, I wasn't going to walk away. Like it was going to be like I need to give this time and then like see how I feel about it. But like I was probably never going to be like, okay, I'm actually gonna walk away. You know?
But also like giving the ultimatum, you never know, regardless of like the content of the ultimatum, you never know how someone's gonna react to like be giving an ultimatum phrased as an ultimatum. You know, like for some people that's their
like the trigger.
That's their like end point. They're not gonna accept if you give an ultimatum kind of thing. So it is like dangerous territory.
I mean, I think those kind of ultimatums are reasonable, and as in like, if you're in a relationship and like there's something that's like really bothering you, or like something that's affecting your happiness, or like you want to be in the relationship but you really love the person and you're like, I do want to stay with you, but like I can't if this is gonna like keep persisting. I see that as an okay ultimatum. But if it's not like I wouldn't get like a other people involvement ultimatum. I'm not sure. Like as in you can't be friends with this person, or like you can't be like hang out with this person. But then maybe, I don't know. Fuck. Because like, okay, what if Shane started like became friends with this, like randomly started becoming friends with this girl, and this girl was like super into him, and like it was so obvious and whatever, and he just like refused to see that, or even he knew and like this was just a thing, but he was like adamant that he was keeping this relationship, or I don't know, something like that. Maybe I would be like, it's her or me, bitch. But maybe, but that's not.
More of like
that's the thing.
I don't know if that's like an ultimatum if it's at that extreme level. It's more like that's just like not within the boundaries of our relationship.
What's like setting a boundary and what's like an ultimatum though?
But I think it's difficult. It's if you've set the boundary and they don't follow it, then I think you set the ultimatum.
But then I don't know, because also it's like a whole ultimatum thing, like for me, means that something has to change about like their behavior or even about themselves or whatever. And I just feel like I think an ultimatum is fine depending on what that change is you know? Like what are you actually asking someone to do? And like does that make sense?
And is it something that will change over time and something that they can work on, or is it like a big dramatic thing that needs to be stopped immediately that you can't take any more of, kind of thing? But I kind of did give an ultimatum in my last relationship during COVID because my ex was like just not taking it seriously and I was not having it. He just was not accepting that the pandemic was a thing, and he just kind of kept living his life how he wanted to live his life. And I think this happened with a lot of people, like being like, oh wow, you don't really care about other people, you know, like with friendships as well. But it was kind of just super disappointing to see him like not taking anyone else into consideration and just kept living his life how he wanted, and like it just made me really change how I saw him. So I was like, you're gonna have to start like taking this seriously or I'm gonna break up with you. And then I did, and then I got back together with him. It's like my classic move, guys. Like, I think this relationship, I never think we broke up because I'm like, oh. Like, but I was so sad. I was crying so much. And then I got back together with him the next day. Because I was like, fuck this. This is too hard. But then he actually did change, to be fair, because I don't think he believed that I was like seriously like I'm gonna walk away. And then when I broke up, he was like, no, please, I'll do anything. And I was like, I told you, I've been telling you for weeks it's gonna get to this point and you didn't do anything. So I think I kind of had to do it for something to change. But then he did give me COVID, but it wasn't his fault, to be fair. It's because he flew to the UK to see me in peak COVID times. But he's like, I thought you were gonna break up with me if I gave you COVID.
That's so funny.
But And then, did I give one before? Probably, but I wasn't prepared to walk away in the last relationship. Clearly.
Yeah. I feel like, I've given like so many little micro ones, but not like really,
Yeah. I think you just have to like set these precedents at the beginning, but like stuff like a pandemic or like unforeseeable things like that is obviously hard. You can't like preempt everything that's gonna happen to you in life.
Yeah.
But going on a dating show where your man is gonna be dating other women, you can preempt that.
Yeah, so maybe don't do that.
But maybe that's what you need.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, again, there's a difference between sort of like setting boundaries and giving an ultimatum and sort of like forcing someone into a corner. So I don't know, I think it's like, what can you handle, what like do you expect from someone, and like, is this someone that's like gonna give that to you or not?
Yeah.
But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on the Ultimatum and Love is Blind. If you guys have enjoyed this, actually, let us know, because I would love to talk about TV more often and my thoughts on shit. We'll do like relationship related ones, we can do like other shows. I'll force Honey to watch them so we can talk about it. Oh my god, when Love Island starts, we should do that.
Yeah, we could do a live stream.
But no, please do let us know if you actually do enjoy this or not,
and let us know if you think Love is Blind and if you would ever give an ultimatum or receive an ultimatum, and if you would like go on these shows. We just want to know your thoughts and like what it means for wider dating relationship culture as a whole.
Yeah, or your thoughts on the cast and like what happened. Like, also just let us know.
But yeah, you can do that on our website, sextrespodcast.com. Email us, sextrespodcast@gmail.com. DM us or whatever you want to do on our Instagram or TikTok at sextrespodcast. YouTube is sextrespodcast. And
all of that's on the website, so if you just want to go to one place and you find it all, just go there, sextrespodcast.com.
Yeah, and as Maria said, just let us know if you want to see more like this. We like doing little fun bonus episodes, so just let us know, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
You've been listening to Sextras, presented by Honey Jane Wyatt and Maria Jose Hayodatiyi, produced by Mabel Productions.